bunch of treasonous, child trafficking, murderous, fentanyl dealing pedophiles. And it's just fucking public knowledge, right? Everyone just knows it. I'm just heading to work, you know? Everyone's just going about their daily business like this is all fucking normal. It's definitely not normal. It's definitely not okay. It's pretty fucking far from what any reasonable human being would consider to be okay. What's it gonna take for everyone to just stop? Seriously, what's it gonna take? If it's not widespread child trafficking and abuse and worse, if you can believe there's such a thing, right? If that's not the catalyst, what is it? Because the TV and the news and the radio or whatever fucking medium you get your information from, they're not going to tell on themselves the same way that they're not going to investigate themselves. Which is kind of a paradox because we've seen I don't know that we've seen accountability as much as we've seen exposure. Here and there we might have accountability for like isolated incidents that, you know, they want to keep separate, but maybe it's just some kind of low-hanging fruit for the people to say, oh, you know, we're actually using your tax dollars for what they're intended, right? You know, they told us that the FBI has repeatedly abused FISA 702, so we know that there's abuse. We know there's stuff going on in terms of taxpayer misappropriation. Is there accountability? Clearly not. Clearly not. There's a bunch of pedophiles in office. Or pedophile protectors, however you want to look at that. Same goes for law enforcement. If they're not pedophiles themselves, they're protecting pedophiles. And that whole argument, oh, it's just a few bad apples. Well, where are the good apples that are, arresting the people who have committed crimes against children? Where are those officers? Because I'll tell you what, if it were my job, because I'm pretty fucking good at my job. Actually, whatever job that I've ever done, I've been pretty fucking decent at. I can tell you if I were in law enforcement, I would have put this shit to bed. Actually, what would have more realistically happened is I would have been murdered, you know, like someone trying to do the right thing, which is kind of their pattern. That's what happens, right? So all the good people who actually are trying to do the right thing get silenced or disappeared for doing so. So again, it's not going to take one or two people. It's going to take all of us snapping the fuck out of it and finding our moral conscience and knowing, you know, what's right from wrong. Because I think that most people are good people, you know. In fact, I'm sure of it. And we just we got poisoned with all the air, water, and food. We got programmed and lied to. Okay, and now we know that. Okay, so we have to address that internally, right? Internally, we have to reconcile the fact that we've been lied to our entire lives, and the people who are masquerading as authority are actually trafficking children. Okay? And a whole bunch of other, you know, stuff that's inappropriate, but obviously that should be the thing where everyone's like, all right, hang on a minute. Let's get to the bottom of this before we chunk over all of our money and our efforts to these pedophiles. How many people paid taxes yesterday? It's just bananas. It was bananas at COVID. Didn't make any sense in 2019. Everybody just jumped into line with the vaccines, right? And this definitely doesn't make sense. None of it makes any fucking sense whatsoever. I do not understand why it's so hard for all of us just to stop come together and have a conversation. I don't get it. I guess everyone's just that selfish. And if that's the case, then we truly do deserve like the nastiness that's coming our way. You know, if we really just can't even take a step back to have a conversation to address the flagrant issues in our society right now, then we probably deserve whatever's coming to us. Would you agree?